Randy, we were asked the question, how can a person stay pure in today's world? When someone simply gets out of bed in the morning, temptation is all around.
Well, I certainly agree that there's a lot of temptation in the world. And if that means from the time that you get out of bed that you have thoughts in your mind, I guess I get that. But one of the things I would say is we do have control over the environment in which we live. And I've actually seen people who are wanting help in the area of sexual purity who have posters up on their walls that promote sexual impurity. And so I think we need to think in terms of what choices am I making that are exposing me to sexual impurity. I can't just, magically snap my fingers and expect that I'm not going to face sexual temptation. Scripture says resist sexual temptation, flee from it.
Yeah, temptation is a complicated thing in that certain temptations build and build and build and get stronger until we flee from that situation. But there are other temptations where when we build a resistance to them, they become less and less of a temptation over time because it's no longer a part of our lifestyle.
I agree. I remember years ago, many years ago, there was a certain store in Gresham where we lived. I would go into that store and there was a magazine rack. And I would go in it, inevitably it seemed like my eyes were wandering over there and I was seeing things I shouldn't see. And finally, I just said, okay, Lord, I am not going to go in that door. I'm staying away from that area of the store. And to some people, they'd say, well, wait a minute, that's just pathetic that you can't even walk in the door. Come on, just keep your eyes away. But I was struggling with it. So I trained myself not to go in through that door. Then years later, when magazines were still there, one day I found myself in a hurry, quickly went in the door. And the interesting thing was because I had disciplined myself through not giving myself access to this, I had now gotten to the point where I was keeping my eyes away from it from that point forward. It was no problem. But the point is, don't overestimate your ability to resist temptation. If you are falling in an area, stay away from that area.